Welcome to Talk to the Future, where the future of sales isn't predicted, it's built. Each episode features real conversations with the operators, marketers, and innovators driving what's next. From AI and automation to the strategies that are converting right now. No fluff, just what's working.
2026. My name is Joseph Gray. We're on the Talk to the Future podcast. We have a guest here, Melanie Doolin with Oregon Correction Enterprises. And I'm talk to you today. How are you liking LeadsCon so far?
Oh, it's been great. We have an exhibitor booth here, and we've had a lot of interesting people that have come by. So
that's amazing. What exactly is it that you guys do? Could you tell us a little bit about Oregon Correction Enterprises?
Yeah. So actually, we were created in 1999 voted in by the voters to actually have a work and training program for people incarcerated. But one of the things we do and why we're at LeadsCon is one of the industries we have is call centers. So we've been running call centers for over 20 years. We have about 700 seats, and we're in 7 different prisons with our call centers. That's
incredible. What prompted you guys to enter that space? What was the why behind it?
Yeah. So back whenever we first started, it was actually the need for state agencies that needed inbound customers. So they needed people to actually answer the phones, and they couldn't create their own call centers. So that's really where we started with the call centers. And then it just grew to now we're inbound and outbound. We don't actually work with a lot of state agencies. It's more customers with all different types of leads that we generate.
So somebody watching this podcast could reach out to you and engage your services if they were in a home service company, or is there specific verticals that you guys operate in, or are you category agnostic?
Yeah, we actually have multiple verticals that we operate in, from healthcare to insurance to vacation. I mean, all over. So anybody can reach out to us. We've actually roofing, home care, anything like that.
How many LeadsCons have you been to?
This is our 8th one.
8 years.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
How do you like it overall?
Overall, LeadsCon has been our most rewarding one that we go to, trade show that we go to every year. We actually usually go to about 4, and then we decide if we're going to go back to the other 3.
Right.
But no matter what, we're always back to LeadsCon. It's always been a very valuable one for us.
So what kind of workforce do you have in terms of headcount? I mean, are you a relatively large organization?
Yeah. So as far as the people that are in our programs, they're not considered workers, but they're in our programs, and they still receive compensation for it. But we have about 1,600. So we have over 10% of the incarcerated population in Oregon in our different types of programs that we have.
Okay. How do they sound overall? I haven't heard a phone call. I'm curious. You mentioned something previously about maybe they were in the wrong industry and they were just selling the wrong item.
Yeah. So before they got to prison, they were great salesmen. They were just selling the wrong stuff. So we take them and we actually help them actually start using those skills that they have to sell other things and to actually be able to communicate and work with more pro-social behavior instead of the negative stuff. It actually sounds great. You wouldn't tell the difference that whether they're incarcerated or whether they're people off the street.
Right.
And one of the other things is you will have the most engaged workforce you could ever have, because if you think about it, you have these gentlemen or women that are inside a prison and they're in their cell all day long. So idle time is not good. So for us, this helps us get them out of their cell for 8 hours a day, and they get to talk to people all day long. And for them, that's very inspiring.
So would you say that this is a very serious opportunity to rehabilitate individuals that are in the system?
100%. As a matter of fact, people that go through our program, statistically, it's been proving are 50% less likely to return to prison. Our recidivism rate is at an overtime low of only 6%. And not only that, we keep the prison safer because our misconduct rate, because you have to be the best of the best to be in our programs because you receive more rewards than what others do. And our misconduct rate is only about 4.5% versus a typical misconduct rate, the Department of Corrections, is about 40% if you're not in the program.
So it's a fantastic program as a whole for the entire industry and the correction system.
Right. And we partner with second chance employers. So we have over 87 second chance employers, and we help them actually get jobs prior to them releasing. So when they get out, they already have that safety net knowing that they're going to have a job.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So if I were a buyer, so I was somebody who needed to engage your services, how exactly would I find you? Where would I go?
Sure. So we have a website, oce.oregon.gov or Oregon Corrections Enterprises. You can find us on there. And it has all our different business verticals on there.
I like that. What's one thing that you wished you could do more of with your system?
Reentry services. One of the things, especially in Oregon, that we actually lack in is homes. And so people getting out, don't always have a place to go to. And so with our reentry services, if we could provide more transitional housing, that would be fantastic.
I think that's a fair approach, without a doubt. So tell me about you. How did you get into the industry?
Oh, wow. So actually, my background is HR, not CEO. So I was the HR director for Health and Human Services in Wyoming for 18 years. And just wanted to change and came up to Oregon for an HR position as well with this company. And then my predecessor ended up leaving, and they asked me to take over the company. So yeah, so I've been there for about 8 years now.
So the 8 years that you've been coming to LeadsCon.
Yeah, well, my team's been coming a little bit longer than me. I've been coming for about 4. They've been here the 8.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been very rewarding.
That's wonderful to hear. Tell me a little bit more about just in general, Oregon. I mean, I've been to Portland maybe 2 times.
Yeah.
Tell me about what you like to do up there.
Oh, wow. So, coming from Wyoming, the most beautiful country in the world, going up to Oregon, I wasn't sure what I was going to think of it. But I have to tell you, when people say we have a winter, we really don't have a winter in Oregon. You do have some rain, you get some snow up in the high areas. But for the most part, you're 45 minutes from the coast, but it's not a beach, it's a coast, it's cold. And then you're, 45 minutes up to the mountains to go skiing. So it's a very beautiful area once you get outside of, the larger areas. So
Metroplexes always seem to be difficult to, I've been on the coast. I actually used to live in Seattle, so
okay.
I'm very familiar with the area in terms of the scenery.
Uh-huh.
I just never made it down to Portland. So
yeah.
Is there anything else that you would, if I were to put you in front of a giant audience, which is obviously what we're doing here, what exactly would you want to leave that audience with?
Well, one of the things that I always tell people is we don't look at people's past, we only look at their future. And so 95% of people are going to get out of prison, and they're going to be our neighbors, they're going to be our coworkers, and a lot of them are going to be our friends. And so what we can do while they're incarcerated now and help them program and become a better person and let them know that they actually have a reason to do better, right? That's the whole thing. A lot of times they don't see that self-value in themselves. And so whenever we're able to help show them that, then it sets the course for them. And that's why they don't walk back in our doors. So give people a second chance. We all deserve it.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. That's a wonderful thing to do. I mean, I think the work that you're doing is fantastic.
Thank you.
Brilliant, in my opinion. Especially like the recidivism. You're going to have to forgive me.
That's okay. Recidivism.
Yeah, that's a
you
mouthful.
have to say it all the time.
Too many consonants together, it's going to be a problem,
Yeah.
And on that note, I lost my train of thought there. That being said, is there anything else that you would like the audience to know?
Well, if you have incarcerated people in your different states, if you're able to support any type of those reentry efforts, Correctional Industries is not just in Oregon, it's in it's all over the United States. And so buy from them, help support them, because that's really making a difference.
I love that. Where can you be found? Like, I know you said you have a website.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any other ways, any other methodology that individuals can engage with you personally? Are you on social medias?
Yeah, so we are actually on social media. We're on LinkedIn. Oregon Corrections Enterprises is we're on Facebook. I'm also on LinkedIn. and on Facebook. We're also in Instagram. And so our other line, which is Prison Blues. So we have a Prison Blues clothing line that's internationally known and all over the world. And that's been around for a long time too. So if you go to prisonblues.com, you can also find us as well. And so, so we have both of those different areas.
What would you say, and this is just since we're at a marketing conference,
right?
What would you say your best channel is for people to engage you with? Are you guys really proficient at responding to Facebook? Like if somebody were to reach out to want to talk to you right now, what would be the best method to get in touch with you?
Yes, absolutely. So we have somebody fully dedicated to our social media. And actually, so he responds immediately to any type of request and make sure we know that whenever you have a social media page out there, that you have to be responding to it. And so our guy that works for us full time, he does an amazing job and he gets back to people right away. So if you go out to Facebook, look for Oregon Corrections Enterprises, or you go to LinkedIn as well, or Instagram, we'll have responses back to you right away.
I love that. Response time is everything, in my opinion,
Agree.
which kind of leads me to my next question in a roundabout way. Do you actually supply leads for the call center, your agents? We'll call them agents.
Yeah.
Do you supply the leads for them to call, or are you plugging into your prospective buyers' data sets?
Sure. So what we do is we actually provide the individual, we provide the cubicle, we provide the infrastructure and, the computer. And then we have the customers come in, they actually provide their CRM and they run their own business. So we charge a flat rate for what that looks like for the individual per hour. And that's how we run our call centers. That's
incredible. I really appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you.
I think it's an incredible work. I think it's an underserved population,
right?
Especially, just the way things are. It's really unfortunate. So the fact that you're doing that and really making an impact on those individuals re-entering, I mean, it's just absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. What's really great, again, is the second chance employer part. I was having dinner with one of our customers last night, and he was talking about somebody that he's recently hired. And, this person got out and now they're making $80,000 a year, So, I mean, it's like we're giving people livable wages, they're being set up. I have another gentleman that was actually in a call center. He worked for us for almost 20 years in the call center. He got out. Now he's in line to be the next CEO of the company.
That if there's a success story that I've heard
that's it.
That I feel like shines, that's the one.
Yeah.
I mean, to turn somebody around to that level, it's so incredible.
Yeah, it is. So, and actually, if you go out to our website as well, you'll get to see all these different success stories. So we have what we call the voices. And so it's people telling their story, and it's whenever they were inside prior to them releasing, and then what they're doing on the outside.
That is so amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, putting their stories out there, that is the greatest testament to what you guys are doing, without a doubt. Yeah. I mean, as soon as I heard about what you're doing, I'm like, I have to talk to Melanie.
I appreciate
it's incredible stuff. So I really, really appreciate you hopping on the podcast and talking to us about what you do. Again, everybody, Melanie Doolin, CEO of Oregon Correction Enterprises. And she told you several times how to find her. So thank you so much for hopping on. And I look forward to talking to you further in the future.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right. Have a good one.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to Talk to the Future, where the future of sales isn't predicted, it's built. If you got value from this episode, make sure to subscribe, share it with your team, and stay connected for more conversations with the people driving what's next. Because what's working tomorrow is already being built today.